We have trillions of dollars coming into our country. If we didn't have tariffs, we would be a very poor nation, and we would be taken advantage of by every other nation in the world, friend and foe. We're not going to let that happen. And we have a very, very big case in the Supreme Court. Our country has a chance to be unbelievably rich again, but it can also be unbelievably poor again. If we don't win that case, our country is going to suffer so greatly.
A federal appeals court has decided that the tariffs that Donald Trump issued toward Mexico, China, and Canada at the very beginning of the Trump administration, those are illegal. This is a big ruling against the Trump administration, saying that Donald Trump just did not have the authority he thought he did at that time to issue the sweeping tariffs that he did. That's because at that time, he said that the U.S. was under a national emergency because of fentanyl and drug trafficking and organized crime across the southern border at the United States. And that was the impetus for tariffs against China, Canada, and Mexico. The Federal Circuit Court of Appeals that's based in Washington, in a 7-4 decision on Friday, they said that that is just far too much of magnitude in issuing tariffs under this particular emergency authority that Donald Trump said he had at the time. It was not done correctly by the White House.
This is massive and breaking news. The U.S. Appeals Court just stated that the tariffs imposed by Donald Trump, they gotta go. It was ruled that they are illegal. In fact, they upheld an earlier ruling that the U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada and other countries under national emergency powers were imposed illegally. The tariffs still stand today, and they will be removed October 14th to allow the Trump administration to appeal this to the U.S. Supreme Court. And for those who don't know, the U.S. trade wars that we're having, it pushed Canada into recessionary territory. Our GDP has shrunk as a result of it. What is unbelievable in all of this is Mark Carney went from elbows up to retaliating on the tariffs to dropping everything, dropping the digital services tax, to then telling us that we have the best possible deal out of any country in the world, only to be saved by the U.S. court system. Wasn't Mark Carney, wasn't anything the liberals did. It was the U.S. judicial system. Unbelievable.
And now it's going to the Supreme Court. Now we're going to be asking for early admittance. We're going tomorrow, and we're going to ask for expedited ruling because when you look at the stock market's down today, the stock market's down because of that, because the stock market needs the tariffs. They want the tariffs. If you look at AI, all of those, all of that money that's going to be invested, trillions and trillions of dollars, the biggest thing, bigger than the internet, I suspect. It's the internet plus 3 or 4 other things combined. We are leading very substantially with AI. We're leading because of tariffs. We're leading because of talent, and this is where they'd like to be. But without the tariffs, we wouldn't have a chance because we wouldn't be able to protect those investments of the companies coming in. So if you took away tariffs, we could end up being a third world country.
Hey USA, what's new with you? So judges here said that the Trump tariffs are illegal. Okay, does that mean that he's gonna remove them? Nope, not yet. Okay, what do you mean not yet? Okay, just tell me the story. So Trump put a lot of tariffs on a lot of countries, right? He's been doing that since he got elected. Yeah, I think the whole world knows that by now. So back in May, the Court of International Trade said that Trump can't do that and those tariffs are unlawful. That was back in May. Yeah, but Trump appealed it. And the results of the appeal came today. And the U.S. Court of Appeals said that, yeah, Trump's tariffs are illegal. He can't do that. Okay, so well, how are the tariffs still happening? They said that the tariffs would stay until October 14th, 2025. Why didn't you just say that? They said that it's illegal. Yeah, they said that the Congress is the one that's supposed to put the tariffs, not the president. But anyways, they gave him till October so that he will have time to appeal it in the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in here. So he's gonna appeal it. Yeah, and out of the 9 judges in the Supreme Court, 6 are Republican and 3 of them are appointed by Trump himself. So I guess Trump is kind of confident. Well, we gotta wait till October to see. But what did Trump even say about this whole thing? He said that if the tariffs are gone, it will be a total disaster, and that it can cause another Great Depression. But you know him, he likes the drama. So we gotta wait until October to see if the tariffs are gonna stay or not.
And now it's going to the Supreme Court. Now we're going to be asking for early admittance. We're going tomorrow, and we're going to ask for expedited ruling because when you look at the stock market's down today, the stock market's down because of that, because the stock market needs the tariffs. They want the tariffs. If you look at AI, all of those, all of that money that's going to be invested, trillions and trillions of dollars, the biggest thing, bigger than the internet, I suspect. It's the internet plus 3 or 4 other things combined. We are leading very substantially with AI. We're leading because of tariffs. We're leading because of talent, and this is where they'd like to be. But without the tariffs, we wouldn't have a chance because we wouldn't be able to protect those investments of the companies coming in. So if you took away tariffs, we could end up being a third world country.
We have some major breaking news out of Washington. An appeals court has officially ruled that Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal, confirming that he unconstitutionally overstepped his authority as president. Democrats are very happy at this decision, with one of the senators saying federal courts have repeatedly done what Republican senators won't do, saying in black and white that Donald Trump's tariff spree is illegal and cannot continue. Another senator said there are small businesses all over Colorado and medium-sized ones that have been in misery since Donald Trump put these unconstitutional and illegal tariffs in place. They're all going to be relieved to know that a president shouldn't be able to do this unilaterally. Donald Trump, however, was not as happy, saying if these tariffs ever went away, it would be a total disaster for the country. It would make us financially weak, and we have to be strong. The USA will no longer tolerate enormous trade deficits and unfair tariffs and non-tariff trade barriers imposed by other countries, friend or foe. He also said if allowed to stand, this decision would literally destroy the United States of America. At the start of this Labor Day weekend, we should all remember that tariffs are the best tool to help our workers and support companies that produce great made-in-America products. But the thing is, we're hearing from these companies, we're hearing that they are struggling because of these tariffs. Of course, in Donald Trump's land of delusions, he thinks other countries are the ones paying these tariffs, but no, in reality, it's us, the American consumers and businesses. To quote Donald Trump, he is the one that's actually literally destroying the United States of America with his reckless policies.
Hello people, welcome back to this channel, and I'm glad that you are watching. As you're digging deep, know what has been happening concerning the tariffs which has been denied by the court of USA. It has been declared that these tariffs are illegally imposed by the government or by the President of the United States of America. I don't know what is your take on this, but it has been said that it has been imposed illegally because it wasn't the work of the President, but it was for the Congress to impose these tariffs. And as it has happened, there is a big worry by the President of the United States of America that America might fall into a state of poverty because of these tariffs. Because of course, it will affect trade in a big way. It will affect also the economy of Americans in a big way. It will also affect the pockets of Americans or the people who are living in America in a big way. Also, it has been said that the money that which has been given out or has been paid to these tariffs has not to be refunded back to the companies which purchased or the companies which has been given these monies to the tariffs. Now they have to take back, they have to be paid back their money. And it has been said that this money, because the taxpayers of the United States, they're the one who pays this money, they have it to be refunded back to their pocket. And that's a big loss to the American government. Another thing that I was thinking is what would be the effect if they will not take, if the Supreme Court will not take this case, and will this make the trade now to go into another direction? What is the effect on the trade? Will it affect the trade or make it now to take another way or another channel? What will be of effect, or what is a big concern about these tariffs? Okay, when you see or when you hear of the tariffs on all these things, okay, as a normal person, we normally think like, how will it affect me, or can it even reach unto us? Does it even have any effect to your pocket, to your wallet? Will it be of any effect Is the concern that Trump has, is it for his own interest or for the interest of Americans? That's a question. That's my question. As it has been complained or by certain Americans, they've been feeling like, oh, it wasn't even for our benefit. No, it was for the benefit of few great and mighty people, or the politician, or the people who are there. It was for the benefit of Donald Trump or and his administration. It wasn't either even for the benefit or for good of Americans. I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know how you see about that. I don't know what is your heart or what is your take upon this issue. Is affecting how does these tariffs affect you personally? How will it affect the government? How will it affect us globally? We would like and would love to hear from you. And please subscribe to this channel. Kindly like, share, subscribe to my channel, and I would love and I would really appreciate. Please comment. Bye.